I'm a great believer in devolution being something that grows, that you learn how to use the powers you have, you exercise them, and where it's appropriate for more powers to come, because there are things we want to do here, then that's a great thing. So there are many powers I welcome, new powers over taxation, so we don't just spend the money, which is good, but we need to raise it as well, which means you might make different choices about things. But it's a very grown-up approach to managing your money. But also with welfare, I said to you before, I mean, the power to think in a fairer way about the kind of society we want is something that I value for the Scottish Parliament. So we can get to do things already on health and education, they're already devolved. But actually over things like taxes and raising money, our welfare state and what we want to do in the shape of that. These are all interesting things, and I think we might just do things differently in Scotland, and that's something I, with the help of the cross-party group on learning disability, will certainly take forward in the future.
Yeah, well, you won't be surprised to know that I want more powers for the Scottish Parliament, but I don't want powers just for their own sake. I want powers so that, for example, we've got employment and support allowance, the benefit that most disabled people rely on, and if we have it here, we can stop it being cut for people. We can make applying for it a much easier process. We can also do things like, I mean, I would like more powers to devolve things like the Access to Work Fund, which allows employers to adapt their premises to make it easier for disabled people to work there. There's all sorts of things that we can do to make it easier for disabled people, but we need the powers here in Scotland to do it, because the Tory government in London has not treated disabled people well, and we think that we can do a lot better.
There's a long way to go to make sure these powers are fit for purpose, but I'd like us to be able to offer a welfare system that's fit for purpose. I mean, one of the things the Greens, one of our main policies is a basic income. That's something we've been looking at for years, which would make sure that everybody had, you know, a small sum of money that would enable them to take on caring duties, or, you know, perhaps to study, just to have a bit more freedom in life. I think we need to look at welfare, social security, just a feeling that regardless of whether you're, you know, suffering from ups and downs in life, there's a firm foundation for you to get on your feet again. And that's one of the challenges that's been presented just now, because some of the powers we've been given, you know, maybe aren't being matched by finance. There are difficulties there, but I do think it is important that Scotland gets more powers.
Well, some Conservatives in Scotland believe that the Scottish Parliament should have less powers, and some believe it should have more. I'm one of the people who believes it should have more powers, because there are a lot of decisions that are better made here in Scotland. And specifically, the current round of devolution, the new Scotland Bill that will become an act of the Westminster Parliament next year, will devolve all responsibility for those who are disabled, or the benefits for those who are disabled. And it will also devolve responsibility for finding work and getting people back into work. And I think when that is done, that we in Scotland can do what needs to be done in Scotland more effectively through the Scottish Parliament and the Scottish Government than we can simply relying on a UK-wide policy that may suit some parts of the country but may suit Scotland less. So I think the devolution of other powers, particularly the devolution of those responsibilities, will give us an opportunity to make things better for people who are currently having difficulties.
Well, we've argued for a long time that the Scottish Parliament should have many more powers so that we can control our own destiny here on the domestic agenda. We want to be able to raise the majority of the money that we spend, and that's why we think we should have tax powers and big welfare powers, and that's exactly what's coming. But we believe in the United Kingdom, so we want to stay in the partnership, the family of nations that is the United Kingdom. So more power for here, but stay as part of the United Kingdom.